Hello everyone, welcome to the Accounting Lab, where we make accounting simple, practical and real. My name is Kennedy Aswani and I'm grateful today to introduce to you something that is very critical in accounting world. Today we are going to learn something that happens in the office, not that theory that occurs in accounting world. Today we are going to learn something that is very important in accounting, and I'm glad to introduce to you accounting in real life. So what is all about accounting? Accounting is the process of identifying, recording, classifying and summarizing the financial statements so that those statements can be used by any business or any person to make a conclusive decision. That is the reason why it's very important for us to know much about accounting. So in other words, in simple terms, accounting is all about the language of the business. Outside there, we always know that business are running and business need to communicate. So it's a story that tells about about how money is earned, how money is spent, and also how money is invested in the real world of business environment. Now, why do we learn accounting? Accounting is very precious and is very important to our daily life. Not only to business people, but also to individual people, so that it helps you to manage even your daily activities. So the main reason why we learn accounting is for us to know how we earn our income and also how we spend our daily expenditures. It also measures the performance of the business, because the moment we record, we identify, we classify, at the end of the day we'll be able to do what? To know the performance of our life, the performance of our businesses, and also it will make us to make a concise decision. That's the reason why it's very important for us to learn accounting, and it really helps us. And to add on that, accounting will further on help us to know how we want to plan for our future, which we normally call strategic planning in our daily life, to plan for the future, be it be as an individual, be it be as a business person, be it be as just somebody who has begun even a business today. At the end of the day, you'll have to, your vision and mission, when you start anything, it's like you have to have a long-term goal that you are supposed to achieve. So accounting really helps us so much, because at the end of the day, it helps you to plan now for your futuristic things that you're planning to do in your real life. And at the end of the day, when it comes down to our business environment, you realize that at the end of the day also, you'll be able to be a compliant person, even to the legal society or to the country. When you talk about compliance, it means that we are referring to the law of the country. That is when it comes to taxes, when it comes to remitting whatever you are supposed to submit, let's say filing return, paying the due taxes on time, the kind of taxes that you're supposed to pay. It takes us through all that journey. That's the reason why it's very important for us to know, to have even this small basic knowledge of accounting. And even just to a mere person, just somebody who has just begun a business today, or who is yearning to begin a business today, just running a small shop, you also need to know even how to record those basic transactions. Because at the end of the day, you need to also assess yourself to know how your business is doing, what is going on, is moving on. At the end of the day, nobody has ever begun a business or anything to make a loss. And that's the reason why accounting will answer all those questions. It will tell you if you're making any profit, if you're improving in your life, or you are just stagnated. Now, who uses this accounting information? It is also important for us to understand that this information is very key, and it really helps us in our daily activities. Beginning from the way we said, just an individual. As an individual, or as a business person, or just as a mere person in the society, accounting information is very key. And one of the people who uses the information when it comes to companies is the management. The management requires this information that is very important for them to do what? To make a conclusive decision to whether the business is progressing or it's not progressing. and also to make even strategic plans using the accounting information. And that's the reason why accounting information is very key to our daily environment, and specifically to business people and to companies. Another group of people that are very reliable when it comes to accounting information are the creditors. We know that as a company, we normally have a relationship with many stakeholders, and some of them, they are creditors. The creditors will have to understand if the company that they are supplying their goods and services, it is moving in the correct direction, as in the future, if they'll be able to be paid their dues, or they will not be able to do what, to receive anything from that particular company. So when we generate the profits and loss accounts, when we come up with the financial statements, these people, they are very key. They are going to see if the company is able to pay for them their dues, or what they are being owed or not. If they are not, it's not able, then these people, they'll be able to make a consensus decision even to move away from that particular company, than just to wait, and at the end of the day, they remain in debts. Another team that it's very key to this particular information that we normally prepare as accountants are the investors. We know that we really need these people to fund our projects and to boost even our investment in our companies. And when they come in, these people, they are normally very strict. They normally want to know whatever is happening. And in summary, you cannot walk an investor through the entire organization telling him or her the physical things that you're doing. They normally want to see a summarized statement so that it can communicate to them, because it's communicating to them how the organization is moving on. That's the reason why this accounting that you're going to learn is very key to them. When just they pick a balance sheet, they check on it, they can see, they have some specific areas where they can just check. They can check the equity areas, they can check the asset areas, they can check even the liquidity of the organization there, and they'll see if actually, if they are going to invest in this organization, is it going to pay them back whatever they're going to invest or not. So that's the reason why it's very key that we prepare these particular accounts, or the reason why we need to know much about the accounting information. And also have the government. The government also will have to come for you at the end of every financial year. And for them, when they are coming to you, you know the reason why they are coming. Because as a business person, you also understand that you need to pay taxes. It's only through accounting information, the statements of accounts, the profit and loss account, that will show you if you have made a profit, how much are you going to pay as the taxes to the specific revenue authority of your country. And at the end of the day, you realize that if they come to you and they find that you have not been keeping the records, then it means that even you'll be in the other side of the law. That's the reason why it's very important for us to know this accounting information. Now, we also, before we close for this particular episode, we'll also learn to know much about the branches of accounting. Accounting is very wide. It's a field that's very wide, and all of us, we understand that a field that has knowledge, it's normally, it's very big, or it's a very wide field. And the moment you come in this field, you need to be able to be flexible, so that you can be able to work in any branch, depending with the situation where you find yourself. You need to be a complete accountant. And I'll just have to share some brief field that, as we learn a lot about accounting information, you can find yourself in. And it's very important for us to know that. So the main specific branches of accounting, we are having financial accounting. Financial accounting deals most of the time with recording, transaction, and preparing reports, so that it can give an idea or a decisive information that can be used to manage the organization. We also have management accounting. Management accounting, most of the time, it deals with what we call long-term planning for long-term things in your life or even in your organization. As the financial accounting deals with recording transactions and also preparing reports, or specifically reporting. We talk about the FRS. They are found in financial reporting. They will tell you every stage of how you're supposed to do what, to do your reporting. That's now financial accounting. We also have management accounting, and the way I said, and this one specifically, we are lowering down ourselves to making reports that are being used in the internal organization for the sake of the management to do what, to make decision. We know that we have those reports that are normally required by the required bodies, or they are generalized by the international reporting bodies that are supposed to be prepared by accounting. And we also have the reports that are very key, which are under management accounting. And under management accounting, we learn a lot about internal reporting. And the moment we strengthen reporting internally, or preparing reports that are being used specifically by management, customizing the reports so that they can be used by managers to make decisions, then the organization becomes very stable. And that's where management accounting falls. And most of the time, it deals with things that are going to last. You are planning for the organization that are going to stay there for long, not just for the sake of reporting. Then it also helps so much in terms of controlling the internal operation of the business. That's the time that you can be able to trace even your expenditures per department, per production, per every even unit in your organization. It tells a lot about costing. It deals a lot about inventory management, and also planning for long-termism in the organization. And then another one is called cost accounting, and cost accounting focuses most of the time in production and cost control. And the way the term comes out, cost production, in terms of production, and also cost control, controlling the cost. That's the reason why you realize that most of the time this one will be applying in a situation whereby you are working, let's say, in a company that deals so much in production. Let's say the manufacturing companies. That is the time you find that this applies so much, unlike the service companies or the service departments. Then we have what we call auditing. Most of the time we say that auditing, where the work of an accountant ends, that's where the work of an auditor begins. And that's why we say that auditing now, it checks whether the financial records or whatever the accountant has been doing, or whatever has been happening in the entire process of the business for the entire, let's say, financial year, has been done according to what is required or not. And it is very key also, because it really helps the organization to determine if actually they are moving in the correct direction, if they have been following the procedures, the processes, if they have been following whatever is required by the professional bodies or not. So that's very key. Those are just some of the main branches of accounting, but we are having a lot of them. When we shall be going on, we learn something to do with EMA, which deals so much with environmental management accounting, whereby now this one is lowering down for you to report environmental costs, to include the environment costs in your books, so that you can be able to know how are they contributing also to the organization. So thank you so much. We will learn a lot about these accounts, and will not be the same. Now, as even we come to the end of this episode, now why are we learning accounting? I've just talked something about accounting, and most of the time I've been referring to the companies, to the organization, and I would like to lower down now to the importance of knowing this information or having some clue about accounting in the real life, because right now we are talking things that are happening in real life. Accounting isn't just for companies, as the way I've said, but it's just for everyone. It's just for everyone. Because the moment I began, I said that accounting is just the language of the business, how business is communicating with each other, and how the most important reason why we learn accounting is to know how expenditures relate with what? Relate with the revenue. And I understand that every one of us in this life or in the daily activities that we live in, you interact with expenditures, you interact with revenues. And that's the reason why it's very key, very important for everyone to have this information in our daily life. And when I just lower down to an individual, having this information, it really help you even to budget your salary. If you are not even employed, but you're just getting something like a salary, you are going to know how to budget your salary. Because now you have to understand your revenue, you want us to understand your expenditures. You will see if your revenue is more than expenditures, what should you do for you to make sure that your revenue are matching what? Your expenditures. You will see if your expenditures are beyond, what can you do? Because you normally say that if your expenditures are more than your revenue, then whatever you need to do what? Either to reduce them or you need to increase your source of revenue. So it really helps you as an individual, even just from a household, to understand how you can budget even just inside your house, so that at the end of the day, you are spending on things that are very worthy to be spent on. Things that are not worthy to be spent on them, you leave them aside and you prioritize what? Your expenditures. This information is also very key in our daily life, in our daily life, because also help us do what? Even to plan for our family expenditures. At the end of the day, if you are getting a salary but you cannot be able to do a small budget, then you realize that the moment that even revenue will end, you'll not be able to recognize what has happened. And that one, it will really help you to manage even your family as an individual, as a young man, even in your business, in your school, in your house. You'll be able to manage your revenues. And even if you are running a small business, if you are running a ministry, if it's a church, if it's an NGO, accounting applies everywhere. And accounting helps us to know where our money comes from and where our money is going to. Because automatically, the moment we receive your money, there's somewhere where that money will go to. And it's very, very, very important. As long as you understand where it's coming from, it's also very important to understand where it's going to. So we are going to learn a lot. It's just a beginning. Welcome so much. Kindly don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share and comment, and click that bell. Thank you.